technical difficulties, and us shifting halls, having an aircon, not having it, missing it in the middle of the summer, honestly. We are finally here to start a 242nd meeting themed back to school. But again, before I remind everyone, as everyone is reminded already, that every Toastmasters meeting, we start and we have three golden rules which we follow. Let me see if my audience has or remembers what they are. What is rule one, guys? Come on. We have a guest with us. Let's educate him as well. Come on. Rule one. Can't hear you. Switch off phone. Keep your noise making devices on silent. Be it your phones, your laptops, your smartwatches if you're wearing one. Because you don't want to be the person when someone is speaking on stage, involving the audience, and the phone buzzes. Tick, and everyone's attention diverts there. You don't want that happening, right? So let me give you all 5 seconds to put your phones and other things on silent. Silent. That'll be five, four, three, two, and one. Great job. What about rule two? Very drowsy audience, I guess. People be louder. Come on. All right. Let's go with a simpler one. Whenever a speaker is speaking on stage, refrain from leaving the hall. You can leave the hall once the speaker is finished and during the applause. This way, the person who's speaking on the stage retains his confidence. Because imagine you yourself are talking on the stage and someone walks out in front of you. It drops your energy levels drastically, doesn't it? So that's there. And now, coming to the final, essentially the most important rule. Come on, people. Be louder. Topics. All right. I'll take that. Well, basically in Toastmasters, we do not stop you or prevent you from talking on speaking on anything. But when you're talking on topics like sex, religion, race, etc., which might offend anyone, just be careful that you do not offend the sentiments or emotions or beliefs of anyone in the audience or anyone in general. With that being said, let me welcome you all to meeting number 242 and hand it over to the presiding officer of the day, Toastmaster in English, our president.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Yeah. All right. That's the spirit I want. And before I get on with the announcements and all of that stuff, let me start the meeting. Theme. What is it? The theme? Back to school day. Back to school. Meeting number 242. Back to school open. All right. So since we have a guest here, let me just tell the motto of the club, and we also have a new member. So yours is a long time coming as a member, but then nevertheless, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Well, that's the motto of Toastmasters International. Now, coming to today's meeting, before I start boring you guys as the TMOD, I'll bore you guys a bit as the president. So, in announcements from the education side, VP Education's office, well, new mentors have been allotted. Please go through the list, contact your new mentors, and yeah, if there is anything, please approach our Vice President Education, Toastmaster Sanidhya, or myself. And yeah, we have a new member here, Toastmaster Shell. So can you please come onto the stage and give a small introduction? You've done this a lot of times. Should be very easy for you, but please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have been a part of Toastmasters since I joined the college, but I joined just now. I'm looking forward to meeting all of you, talking with you, and just learning a lot of things. Thank you.
Welcome, Toastmaster Shell. And we have a guest too, Abhiram. Can you please come onto the stage and introduce yourself?
Thanks, Nikhilesh. I'm Abhiram of CSEB, and I've been wanting to join Toastmasters from Sem 1, but obviously there's that negligence uh, which is there for every budding speaker. So here I am today, and I hope I'll learn a lot. Thank you.
We hope to be addressing you as Toastmaster Abhiram soon. So yes. So without any further ado, let me call on the TMOD, Toastmaster Nikhilesh. Everyone a round of applause. Hello everyone. How was your day at school today? All right. So a quick question to everyone. Okay, wait, this transition is a bit difficult. I thought it'll be very easy to jump from PO address to TMOD, but yeah, nevertheless. Okay, quick question. I hope all of you have visited school. Right? All of you have been to school. Like you've done your 12 years of schooling. Hopefully, yes. Okay, yeah, expected. A quick answer. How? Like, can you just tell me like some of your school name? Like, huh? Amity, Sri Chaitanya, DPS, New Horizon, Rai. Okay, Ryan International. All right. Anyone else? Any more names? Yeah, boy. KV and yeah, KV. Okay, DAV. All right. So all these names you guys heard. Can just anyone tell me the different school names you guys heard today? Anyone? Like the names you heard today in this hall. Can you name them? Like 3, 4 names. Nah, nah, okay, all right, yeah. So all names are different, right? The uniform of all the schools are different, correct? Agreed. But there is something common between all these schools. Like amongst all the schools in India, there is something common. Can you guys tell me what is that thing? Huh? High fees. Uniform is not like okay. Wearing uniform, yeah. Wearing uniform is common. Teachers are not common again. Board exams, yeah. Well, that was these two like weren't the answers I was looking for, but yeah, the answer I was looking for was this thing. The story that our school building is no, our school is built over a graveyard. How many of you heard the story? Everyone. It's like average Indian school. School has been built over graveyard. And the other is the affair between our PT teacher and our maths faculty or English faculty, depending on who's like is the faculty female or male. If the English faculties are mostly ladies, so yeah, we usually ship our PT teacher and our English faculty, but then yeah, usually it's sometimes our maths faculties too. Now this is something all schools have in common. But yeah, what makes school special? Like what makes us remember school back? Like when you look back, why do you always have to remember school and associate that with childhood? It wasn't college. Spent 12 years. Friends, childhood memories. Well, yeah, all these answers are correct. But yeah, the thing is, a lot of firsts. We did a lot of firsts in our school days, starting from our first lie. Mummy, aaj maine khana kha liya. I had lunch today. And you throw that lunch in dustbin, not encouraging you guys to do it, especially green tags and red tags. No. And moving on, your first fight, you get in a brawl, you know get this, especially this breast pocket torn down and all of that. Boys have especially experienced that. And what else? So anything new which you've experienced? Sorry, scandals. Dog ate my homework. Not doing homeworks. Yeah. So again, cheating is something you many of us would have done for the first time in exams. Yes. All right. Never mind. I'm not going to engage into this conversation. So let's just keep this for the break. And what else? What else? First love, first crush, first love. For many, well, school also resemble or brings back first kiss. Not for me, unfortunately. For some, first time drinking. Okay, first time smoking and all of that. A lot of us. And all these experiences, if you break them down, you can put them in 4 different categories. But before I talk about all the first we experienced and all these categories, first I have to talk about this thing which happens in every Toastmasters meeting. Toastmasters International was established on 22nd October 1924 by Ralph C. Smedley. And as of today, over 100 years, we have, how many clubs do we have? Anyone? More than 14,700 clubs in 144 different countries and over 280,000 members. That's Toastmasters International for you. Now, we all have this annoying person, right? In our school. Who is that annoying person? We'll get there. Principal, vice principal. All right, no, okay, yeah. Actually, yeah, it makes sense. But that is not what I was looking for. So let's just go with principals and vice principals for now. And they always used to come nitpick. They'll stand outside the class and they'll overlook everything which is happening in the class. They'll come look at you guys from the window, and then they'll come and enter the class from the other door, from the main door, and they'll like, you come out. So to nitpick all of you today, we have a general evaluator. And to call upon a general evaluator, she has an introduction, or not introduction, I'm not sure. She says school for her is a little red building in her neighborhood, and as she passes by it every day, there's a little memory which replays in front of her. Toastmaster Sharanya.
So, if I think about what is one thing I'm very glad that is not there in college, that was there in school. Can you guys guess? One thing that was there in school but not there in college, and I'm very thankful for that. Peace, no. Life. There's no life in college? Okay. There's no life in Amrita. Let's pretend that we did not hear that. So one thing that was there in school and that is not there in college is parent-teachers meetings. How many of you have been like genuinely scared on the day of parent-teachers meetings? Exactly. And my parent-teachers meeting used to be really weird. From the morning, my parents' faces used to be like the meeting has already begun. And then we go meet the teacher. And for some reason, they love bonding over my terrible marks. Like, my mom will say something that's a complaint about me. My teacher will be like, yeah, correct. And then they'll bond over and I just sit and listen. That's how my parent-teachers meeting used to go to. And used to go to like 20, 30 minutes of just both of them talking. Fortunately, we don't have that in college, and I'm very happy about it. I can bear these uniforms just for the sake that there's no parent-teachers meeting. That being said, I'm going to be your teacher for today. That's going to be your general evaluator. And for that, I have my tag team to assist me. Firstly, we have a timer, which is Toastmaster Shell. It's her first time attending as a Toastmaster. And I met her around in first semester while doing some CR duties. And I realized that she's such a boss girl. Like, she thinks what real. So over to you, Toastmaster Shell.
Good afternoon again. I'm Shell. I'll be a timer for the day. So my work is, as explained to me by so many people here, I have to show this green card at 5 minutes, yellow at 6 minutes, and red till you don't stop talking. So please bear with me. Just have respect for my hand. And if I'm showing you the red card, just stop. So thank you so much.
Next up, we have our counter, which is Toastmaster Mansi. And her introduction was, this is the most amazing introduction ever. So for introducing Mansi, I like to put my own introduction. She's like little Shakespeare, though she's in year 1. She's like little Shakespeare. You give her a topic and ask her to write, you'll have the most beautifully penned words ever. So over to you, Toastmaster Mansi.
That was exaggerated, but thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I'm Mansi Ayadevra. I'll be your counter for the day, which means I will be counting your CRPFs of all the speakers that come onto the dais. Now, C includes your crutch words, your R includes your repetitive words, your P includes your pauses, and your F is your filler words like so, like, I'll be making note of all of these, and at the end of the meeting, when the general evaluator calls me, I will be back with my report. Over to the general evaluator.
And then, last but not the least, we have our grammarian for today, Toastmaster Smriti, who says that she would wish to go back to her school days, but she doesn't think that college days are not bad after all. So, over to you, Toastmaster Smriti.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I will be your grammarian for today's meeting, and I will be making note of all the good usages and the improvements in your grammar. Basically, I'll be your English teacher for today. And as you can see, the word of the day is to reminisce, which means to remember something fondly. And the idiom of the day is joined at the hip. That means to be very close friends with someone. So back to you, General Eval.
So, my tag team and me will be back at the end of the meeting with our evaluation. Back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Now, before I gave the stage to general evaluator, what was I talking about? Different categories into which we can put our life, school life, right? So yeah, I've divided that into 4 different categories. One is your primary, like I won't call it primary school, like yeah, most of our primary school life was into that. So what we used to do there was nothing. I don't remember. I genuinely don't remember anything. It was very mid for me. Primary was like, I don't know, just spent over 5 years over. But yeah, something which we used to do in primary was be very, very scared of parent teacher meetings. I know I was always more scared of parent teacher meetings as a 5th grader. Then all my 11th grade was also fine, to be honest. But 5th grade, I don't know for what joy, I was just too scared, probably because Hindi, we all hated Hindi back then. But yeah, so that was primary for us. We don't remember. I don't remember much. I don't know about you guys, but do you guys remember anything from primary? Let me just see what is different. Okay, so changing schools. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Anyone else? Oh, 5th is secondary. No. Wait. No, I said till class 5 I called it primary, and primary was mid. Mid, matlab, like, wait. Okay, wait. You guys argue later. Now tell your experience first. You were saying what? Okay, bunking classes, and then okay, yeah. Oh, huh, yeah. Please. Oh, yes. Sleeping periods, yeah. Yeah, and then yeah, one very good thing was since you mentioning fights, first time using a pen. How cool was holding a pen for the first time? Like how cool was that? I remember my first pen. It was a fountain cello ink something cello fountain or something that I remember I bought it for 35 rupees. So yeah, that was what I think I still have it, but yeah, that is broken and into 3-4 pieces now. So primary was very mid for me. And yeah, before we go on to the next stage of school, I'll call on the speakers for today because whom we are here. To call the first speaker, Toastmaster Pranav. Yeah, I know. I'll do that. But before that, I'll call Toastmaster Harsha, his speech evaluator, to introduce Toastmaster Harsha. Well, he messaged me in the morning saying, "Do you need do you need an intro, or can you just write one for me?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So for people who don't know who Toastmaster Harsha is, he's like the super senior who comes and visits your school once in a while, and who has been a part of the basketball team. Let's just assume that he's been a part of the basketball team, and he comes and sees you guys play, and he'll tell you, "Hey, what is this? It was so good when we were back in school. The team was so absolutely very good. Now you guys have gone to the dogs. The team has gone south." That's Toastmaster Harsha for you. After this, I'll definitely get a call or a message from him. Call, if it is a call, it'll be 40 minutes long. If it's a message, it'll be 2 paragraphs long. He'll tell me, "This has gone wrong, this has gone wrong, this." So yeah, Toastmaster Harsha, please.
Well, shouldn't have asked you to give my intro, Toastmaster in English, but thank you so much. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Toastmaster Harsha, and I'll be evaluating Toastmaster Pranav today. He's attempting L3P1 of Persuasive Influence, and the project's name is Understanding Conflict Resolution. The purpose of this project is for the member to develop or enhance his or her understanding of the steps and strategies to address conflict. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of his or her experience learning about resolving a conflict. All the very best Toastmaster Pranav. I hope you'll do a good job in resolving conflicts. Back to Toastmaster Niklesh.
See, Toastmaster Harsha already started nitpicking. I should have told you this. I should have given my intro, not let you do it on your own. So that's Toastmaster Harsha for you people. Well, moving on to speaker number 1, Toastmaster Pranav. Well, he also did the same mistake as Toastmaster Harsha. He asked me to make an intro for him. So yeah, I think I'll go easy on you. People, Toastmaster Pranav is someone who can optimize any process, not in an engineering, not that too maybe, but yeah, optimize anything, like find out the best possible way to do something, which has already been no the best possible way. So good is not good enough. So something like that. As an SAA, well, I don't know where I'm going with this. Too lengthy intro. As an SAA, he simplified a lot of things which we all assumed is already simple. So that's Toastmaster Pranav for you. I don't know if that intro was good or bad. I'm not sure. I'm really sorry. Well, yeah, Toastmaster Pranav onto the stage. Conflicts, Toastmaster Pranav, conflicts.
Conflicts. We wish to avoid, don't we? We don't like. But somehow, conflicts are something which seem to always be attracted to us. Don't you feel so? All of us have had stages in life where we want things to slide smoothly, but then reeks the ugly head of a conflict. When you least expect it, or when you most expect it, it's always there. The constant thorn on your path, just there to irritate and annoy you. But always I say, conflicts can bring out the best in you. My topic today, my speech today, is going to be about conflict resolution. But I don't want to make it monotonous with me talking about my own conflicts and ways about solving them or how I went about them. I'm that great, I know. I've solved all conflicts in life. But here, let me share this greatness by taking your conflicts into account. So, we all have our team issues, right? Our team projects where one of us doesn't work, where something happens. So, why don't you guys share the conflicts which you would have faced? Let's see if we can work out a solution for it. Anyone from the audience? Any conflicts you have had? Surprising. Everyone's life has been smooth sailing. Sharan, all right. All right. A lot of people want one part in a project. A typical nerd problem, or let me say a typical project problem, because everyone wants the easiest part, or if you're in a bunch of nerds, everyone wants the most lucrative part. So what do we do in this situation? Let's take a simple scenario of 3 people, A, B, and C. And here, let me take Sharanya as person B. A and C in life want the same thing. So what do A and C do? A runs to Sharanya and says, dude, I'm taking this part. You're cool with that now? Ha, okay, bye. Sharanya is not able to process it. By the time this happens, C runs into her DMs and says, dude, I'm taking this part. You're fine with it now? Okay, cool. Conflict. Both your teammates want the same part. And you know the cherry on top? Even you want it. Even Sharanya wants it. So what do you do here? Well, rule 1 of solving a conflict. Get everyone together and talk. Let everyone give the reason why they need this part. A will say, hey dude, it's simple, bro. I'll be able to manage it. I'll be able to dedicate time to something better. It's easy only. I think I'll be doing well in this. Person C will say, hey, I think it's something right up my alley. I'll be able to finish it off. I think I'm good at this. That's why I want this. Sharanya, dude, I like this. I'll just take this. What problem you guys have? I already wanted it. You are telling me and now I have to decide. Problems. So here, all 3 people want the same thing for similar reasons. All of you have faced a situation like this, right? So now, here, what do? 1, introspect. Are you genuinely the best to do that part? If you are, tell, dude, I'll be the best to do it. That's why I want it. Not guaranteed that the second person might not say the same. Even you will say the same. All 3 say the same thing. So what do? Step 2, the mark of a leader. Delegate. You don't need to take everything upon you. You can say, all right, fine. Since you both need this, why don't you work on this together? And I'll see what is the best way out of it. I'll be able to help you guys when you need me. Simple. So you satisfy both of them. And you're able to finish up the work without people being grumpy about it. If that doesn't work, let's move to point number 3. We just say, okay, we want to solve this. Okay, how do you feel you will solve this? Person A will say, let's take approach A because I am person A. Person C will say, I am taking approach C because I am person C. And person B, that is Sharanya here, will be saying, I don't know, I have something different only. So here, to solve the same problem, you have 3 different approaches. Let everyone try. See what works the best and give the person and choose the best. Be pragmatic about it. Now, moving on to the next conflict. What did anyone face? Come on. Sharanya, does that resolve before? Does that resolve? Great. Next conflict, people. Seriously? Okay, people don't meet deadlines. All right. Another classic issue, something which I do. All of us hate deadlines, don't we? When you give a time, you're always like, it's okay, bro. We'll pass it. Half an hour more, it's fine. Why don't we call it Indian Standard Time, don't we? If it starts at 6, it starts at 6:30. If it ends at 6:30, it's not ending before 7. Many of the times it happens in our meetings as well, right? So now, what do we do here? Always include a buffer time in your deadline. Knowing that people, including yourself, are gonna slack off. If you want to submit something on the 30th, tell that, bro, we have to submit on the 29th. And even yourself, you have to be convinced that the submission is the 29th. So that you are able to collectively bring everyone together and get it done by the 30th. And not have to work at the end moment. With 1 minute remaining. Anyone else? Any other conflict? Come on. People who don't work at all. The hardest of kinds, right? Because we make our groups because we are friends. And we are not able to always say or tell it to their face that, dude, you're not working. You're being a dead weight. I'm not able to take you. I'm not able to burden you. You're burdening me. I'm not able to carry this dead weight along. True? All of us face it. But what do we do now? Well, you have made your group as friends. And what's the first job of friends here? Or what's the first job as colleagues here? To wish the best for the next person. And covering up their flaws is not going to help you there. So here, the only way it's going to work is be direct. Tell it on the face. You don't? Hello. Hi. We were supposed to finish this. All A, B, C, and me myself had done our part. Yours is missing. We need to finish it. You haven't done it. I can't keep lugging you around. We need to finish yours. We need to submit, or else all of us are collectively losing marks. Either do it or don't. Similarly, all these conflicts have happened in my life as well. All these incidences have happened in my life as well. And hence, without having a conflict for time and saying that none of us reminisce these conflicts, let us get down from the stage and give it back to the team mode.
That was a wonderful speech, Toastmaster Pranav. Well, thank you for telling us about managing conflicts. Everyone needs that. Well, something I noticed, Toastmaster Mansi pointed out that managing deadlines and everything. Well, you are in engineering, and let me tell you one thing. If tomorrow isn't the due date, today ain't the due date. With that, we have someone who is coming up on the stage after a very, 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 very long time. As a speaker, of course. But before we call him up as a speaker, we have to call their evaluator. And to call their evaluator, the evaluator introduces herself as someone who has been to the principal's room more than her own classroom. Toastmaster Arpita, everyone.
So just imagine that the general evaluator is just a school teacher, and the speech evaluators are your tuition teachers. And the general evaluator just think that whenever I'm called upon, is nothing but a parent who is telling you who's just coming and asking the tuition teacher that, how is my kid doing, because they come and pick you up. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a very detailed report about the evaluation. So Sanidhya is attempting level 1 P4 and as his first speech in the pathway of presentation mastery, where he's gonna take a feedback after he gives a speech. And with that, all the best. Over to the team, Odi.
All right, then. Long time coming on the stage as a speaker. When was the last time you gave a speech? You wouldn't. Well, to introduce Toastmaster Sanidhya, our Vice President Education, our education person giving a speech after a long time, he says, what? Aham Brahmasmi. Please grace us with your presence. Welcome on the stage. I hope you know how to speak as a speaker. Toastmaster Sanidhya, 3000 Toastmaster Sanidhya.
Ting! I think I got a notification. 3,000 credited to my account. Oh my God, damn. I mean, it's the start of the month. Of course, I'm rich. I believe this is the case with all of you, right? And especially the ones who are living in hostels. Because for those of you who live in their own houses, you guys are rich anyhow. But for us, living in hostels or PGs, the moment we receive this message, X thousand credited to your bank account. I mean, the excitement, the positive energy comes with this message. Oh my God. Now, as soon as this message comes, we all start making plans. Come on, guys, let's go. I need something good today. Or some of you may be like, people, we are drinking today and the booze is on me. I mean, these are the first few statements, right? Now, I feel the positive energy that comes with just one factor is surprising. No matter how tough the time is, this one message, the smile that it gives us, it's unstoppable. We're not scared to try anything new or make plans for that matter. But making plans and trying something new always involves money expenditure. Now, there are few who spend their money wisely by planning the entire month. And there are few who don't spend only, always filled with money. But then comes the type 3, the craziest of them all, my type. We are those who spend 80% in the first week and 20% in the following 3. I mean, I get money in this hand and I spend it through this one. Now I know that how bad this practice is, but I cannot control myself when I see the money. I cannot control the excitement that I get just after seeing a heavy bank account. I cannot control this hand of mine that spends everything the moment this one gets. Now, with this, I would like to tell you about one specific Thursday afternoon. Now, on Thursdays, I have a lab in the post break period. And obviously, because of that, my lunch break is very, very, very short. And thus, that day, I happen to be in a situation of chewing up anything that I see. Super, super, super hungry. And thus, the basic modus operandi. I call my dear friend Nikhil, our dear Toastmaster Nikhil, to go out and eat something. And he, always being ready for such plans, said yes immediately. And thus, the college ends, we scan our iCards, and off we are, onto the journey with a clear intention, food. Now, I had made up my mind very clearly that I'll go, eat a roll, and come back. Now, imagine you are very hungry. You get a crispy, crunchy roll filled with tender paneer, juicy paneer, and all those sauces. Oh my God, heaven. And all this in just 60, 70 rupees. I mean, do you find any difficulty in this plan? You do? I didn't find any difficulty in this plan. I mean, 60, 70 rupees is just a very small amount for attaining heaven, right? But as Toastmaster Shivan said, had that been the case, I wouldn't be telling you this story today, right? Now, as we were walking towards the roll shop, I hear a voice in the most subtle tone, most questioning tone, most sweet tone, and asking me a question. Bro, you want a drink? Now, whose voice can it be, huh? Whose voice can it be? Whose voice can it be? Of course, Toastmaster Nikhil. And to this feeble voice of his, I ask, drink what, bro? Now, this was a Thursday afternoon, guys. And no one drinks on a Thursday afternoon. Believe me, no one does. And that's very obviously straight up. My answer was, chal bro, chalte hai. Let's go. Now, as soon as the next thing I remember, we were walking towards a shop which gets the majority of its sales from our college. And yet, you have to look around, check if anyone's there, and then enter the shop. Of course, DRB Spirits it is. Now, as we were walking and we entered the shop, as we were walking through the shelves, there was a subconscious subtraction in my head. Minus 300, minus 200, minus 500, minus 700, minus 1000. But you remember the sweet voice that I heard? That voice was stopping me and making me ignore every particular subconscious thought. That day, my friends, the plan of 60, 70 rupees made me spend 1500 rupees, just like that. Now, see, you as a human being, you learn when you see. So if you're seeing a person who has great financial skills, you learn the skills themselves. But me, when it came to me, I was blessed with people like Toastmaster Nikhilesh and Toastmaster Nikhil, who themselves are the most absent-minded creatures when it comes to money handling. I mean, you guys cannot imagine how terrible these people are with money matters. So even if I want to save money, I stand no chance. Now, I have been a careless spender for a long time now. And believe me, when I say this, I really want to stop doing this. I really want to experience how it feels to have some money left in your bank account after 15th of every month. I mean, I really want to experience that. And due to that, I have decided that from now on, I will spend my money wisely. I will plan my entire month and take all factors into consideration and then only spend. I won't get excited the moment I receive money in my bank account. Ting, I think I have a notification. Oh, 3,000 into my bank account again. Nikhil, Nikhilesh, booze is on me today. Thank you so much.
All right, Toastmaster Sandhya, thank you for making me and Toastmaster Nikhil alcoholics. Thanks for that. Well, Toastmaster Nikhil, I think we actually have to stop going out of Toastmaster Sandhya because everything in the story is true except for the part where money gets debited from his account. Anyway, moving on to the next and last speaker before I call them on to the stage, I'll be calling on our speech evaluator. She says she wants to be as far as possible from her own school. I don't know why, but yeah. Toastmaster Jaswita, please, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Tiyamuri. Good evening, everyone. I'm Toastmaster Jaswata, and today I'm going to be evaluating Toastmaster Shivansh. Toastmaster Shivansh is going to attempt his L3P1 in the Pathway Innovative Planning. The purpose of his speech is for the member to practice developing and presenting a proposal. And the speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. And I wish all the best to the speaker. Back to the Tiyamuri.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jaswita. Now, moving on to our third speaker. Well, I don't think I have to introduce him again because if you guys don't know him, he's a part-time student and a full-time binger. Toastmaster Shivansh, everyone. Come on, let's do it. Toastmaster Shivansh, Toastmaster Shivansh, come on, let's do it.
Good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible to my speech evaluator. So before I go to the proposal that I'm going to present, I just want to reminisce about a special day. So it's almost the end of my 4th semester. And it's almost the end of 8th semester of Toastmaster Harsha, Toastmaster Vinay, Toastmaster Dinesh, Toastmaster Vinutna, and Toastmaster Niharika, and Toastmaster Lakshmi. So our VPPR of that time, Toastmaster Jaswita, the president, Toastmaster Janani, and all the XCOM come together and have this great thought of just giving something to them as a memento, as something to remember tab by. And here's the idea. So what we do is order a bunch of diaries, and for each Toastmaster that is going to finally graduate from this college, we are supposed to write a message. The plan pretty simple and it goes brilliantly. And then on a very sunny afternoon, I think right after the college or in between the long break 12:40 to 2, I'm not sure. And I'm not sure how many of the members present in room were a tab member at that time. Maybe Toastmaster Pranav, were you there? No? And I don't think Toastmaster Sanidhya, Niklesh, no one. So I guess only Toastmaster Jaswita was there. So what we do is we gather around. If you remember, guys, there is a bench, the circular bench that is now being broken thanks to some certain other literary club. I don't think I can name it. Thanks to them, the bench is broken. So we go there, we give them the diaries as the mementos, and all the members come together for a glorious photo. I think it's still up on the Toastmaster Amrita Bangalore Instagram page. I'm not sure. So pretty good, no? A great memory, a great core memory for all of those who were graduated that day and all of those who did their presents and the mementos. Now, coming to what I am proposing. Nothing too expensive, nothing too hectic, and nothing too chaotic either. Just a simple proposal. A couple of weeks ago, or I think a month ago, we had our open house. And after that, we made a reel. Because most of the tab members at that time were present there, we made a reel. Now I'm presenting a very simple, very basic idea. On Kalanjali, on any one day of Kalanjali, whatever we're dressing doesn't matter. I think the current member list number, am I allowed to say it? 22. So the current amount of members in this group, in this club or family for some, is 22 right now. All I want for the 22 paid members to come to that same broken circular bench on any one of the day during the break from 12:40 to 1, to just come there, stay for 5-10 minutes. Let's take a bunch of group picture, because I think it's been a long while coming. That tab has to maybe update their DP or put a new picture, because I think most of them are still not over the fact that Toastmaster Dinesh is not a president at this point. The members inside this room know that, but from the exterior, many still think that either Toastmaster Janani or Toastmaster Dinesh is the president. I think it's time to kind of just give tab a new image. The members have changed, the XCOM has changed, and as I very surprisingly found out right about 2 minutes ago, that no one from this room was present during the memento handing. I thought Toastmaster Daksh was there. He was there. Then why didn't you raise your hand? Just a basic, simple, not too chaotic proposal. Please just come there. If you guys want, I'll text on the tab spam. And if somehow any of the alumni or a senior member is joining us, please do join us. It's an invitation to Toastmaster Harsha. If possible, please do join us for that photo, because you're kind of at this point the poster boy of Toastmaster Amrita Bengaluru, isn't he? You're thinking about Toastmaster Amrita Bengaluru, the first face that pops up is Toastmaster Harsha. So if possible, please do join us. I'll put up a message in the official tab group if the president wants me to. I'll put up a message in the tab spam. I'll put a message everywhere. I'll even personally DM each of the 22 paid members. Just come for a photo, because I think it's been long enough that we kind of need a reimagining of the Toastmaster Amrita Bengaluru, that we're not just the fourth years and the super seniors that have passed way long. We are also some people, some newbies, like a first year student is with us currently, then a couple of second years. I don't think we have any currently fourth year student with us. I don't think so. Yeah. So that is basically what my proposal is. Just take one Toastmaster Amrita Bengaluru group pic. That is all from my side. Back to the TMOD, Toastmaster Niklesh.
All right. That was a wonderful proposal. At least I feel so. I don't know how your evaluator feels about it. We'll find out in due time. Talking about the different categories into which school life was broken down. Well, after our primary was done, we moved to this stage of school life where we were learning a lot of new things, where we were seeing a lot of new things. Because till primary, we were in a separate building. But as soon as you enter class 6 or whatever primary, like senior or whatever it was for you guys, as soon as you enter that, you see people, like, you see young people who are like 6 feet, 7 feet tall, uncles and aunties and all of them. And apparently they're just your seniors, and so many faculties, so many staff rooms and all of that. That was, I think, your 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, where you experience a lot of things for the first time. You experience yourself. I don't know. You get the point, right? You get to experience a lot. And I can see people who are not paying attention here, but yeah, it's TTM for you who's not paying attention, but nevertheless. And you're talking about table topic master. We have a table topic session now. That's one way to call a table topic master. So to introduce him, well, attendance. He just told me attendance, and I'm like, okay, I got the word. I got what you want me to say. So for him, in attendance in school was only in the first period when class teacher used to come and take. And now it's not the same case. And that's what he's been suffering with for the past 4 semesters. The Toastmaster Nikhil, everyone.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today's topic, back to school. Quite good one, like school reminds me of all the sweet memories, like you guys said. It was very sweet. But for me, it was sour too. And why was that? I'll tell you in a minute. You all said you all went to different schools, right? Like Ryan Public School, DAV, KV, and all, right? Even I went to schools and I've been around India. I've been to many schools. And the only thing that those had in common was you can get by their names. I went to St. Teresa's Boys High School. I went to Mayo International School for Boys. I went to what? I went to forgetting the name. I went to New Era High School for the boys. I went to Sri Chandra Techno School. In brackets, they wrote boys, so attention to detail on that part. So boys. It was a boys' high school. I've been in boys' high school till the time I remember. But there's one situation back in when I was in my 4th grade. I was in this boarding school in Panchgami. So they had this session in a year where 4 different schools come together. They shuffle all their kids and they make them sit in a class, like 4 different schools. And mine was the only boys' school. So it was for a day. I had to sit with girls. Quite tense it was. And this guy out of random throws me a wager. He's like, hey dude, what's in a boys' school? Try living in a girls' school. I'm like, bro, you survive in a boys' school. You try surviving in a boys' school. So he says like, okay, let's have a wager. You as a representative of the boys' school, go talk to a girl. And I as a girl, boy from a co-ed school, I'll pick a fight with any boy. I'm like, fine, let's do it. We had a toss. I had to go first. And the wager ended there because I could never talk to a girl. But when the next time I went to the school, the guy wasn't there, but I made a contact with the girl. And I was like, hey girl, do you want the fan? And she was like, we're just leaving out of the room. Why would I need a fan? So quite awkward. But I completed my wager. But the guy wasn't there. How many of you here are from co-ed schools, like have been in co-ed? I'll hold you to it. So I will hold you guys to him. So my wager will pass on, like the wager passed on from me to the next guy, his wager will pass on to you guys. So today I'll put you in a situations from boys' schools and I'll see if you are fit enough, if you're the fittest of the crowd to survive those. So any hands, guys? All right, my man here, come up on stage, Toastmaster Pranav. Pick a number, 1 to 5. 4, you say. Okay. So, Toastmaster Pranav, I'll tell you a small situation before I give you the question. Back in boys' schools, we had this unwritten laws that if you cheat in a examination, like if you're 3 members in a row, and you're in the corner, and the guy in the other corner wants a paper. As a guy in the middle, you're supposed to pass it. Even if you don't want it, if you don't want a part of it, you pass it. Just imagine the guy on the other side didn't pass the paper. And the guy on the other side, the opposite side, failed because of it. Now, there's 2 things that are going to happen. One, that's going to be fight, a big fight. But you, what I call a concierge, the guy who will talk on behalf of the guy who failed. And you have to put the other guy into submission saying that what you did was a mistake. And for retribution to that, you have to give his peers. All right. Okay, getting back. So you have to make the guys to submission, giving his peers for a month. So do you want me to repeat the question? For a month, for the mistake he has made.
Hey, nerd. I know you don't want to copy, but why do you make people fail, dude? Already, because of you, we all are seeing like 90, 95. With your marks, 3 or 4 of us can pass in life. You want to study? Great. Did we stop you? IAS bano jaake? Did we stop you? Why are you coming in our way? Paper pass karna hai, bhai. You have to take one paper in your right hand, put it to your left hand, and pass it to me. Can't you do that? Nahin, you tell me. Okay, you say that you don't want to be involved in cheating. Sir, ऐसे चलाओगे देश? ऐसे बनोगे IAS? नहीं, these nerd people, I tell you. See, they won't copy. They want to increase the class average. They want to be the teacher's pet. How will you survive? आके मिलेगा तो हमारे साथ ही ना? नहीं. Project करना है, assignment करना है. All of this you have to do in life, right? That time you need one of us, right? Notes तो चलो हम लिखते नहीं है तेरे को, we don't have to give it to you. But then, what if while walking inside, while in the urinal, you trip over? You don't want that experience in life, do you? You don't want to be the person who's being called as their face, which is inside person. अगली बार से शांति से, like the next time onwards, you're gonna be peacefully and rightly passing the paper. Because of you, if I feel anyone fail, I don't care if the other person is passing or not, you're passing your paper. Because if you fail, you just wait and watch, man. You just wait and watch. Because you're gonna face something which you have never thought of. Because don't worry, you have the other 3-4 years with us over here. Oh, you're gonna go and cry to your mommy, mommy, please change my school, please change my school. You know, even I know. If they had any intention to put you in a good school, you wouldn't be here. So deal with it. And that's my time.
Thank you, Mr. Pranav. That would be it. And I'll tell you one thing. As your job as concierge, you did two things. You got yourself killed and you got the guy who you're supporting get killed. Because in the boys' school, when you support a statement saying that you're gonna cry to your mama, that is enough. That is enough to pick a fight. And that's how the fight starts. So bad job. Coming to the next speaker. Who's gonna be the next speaker? Oh, I see a hand. Toastmaster Arpita, please. Pick a number, Toastmaster. 3, you say. Well, I remember being in the situation once, which I'm going to give you. There was this crazy experiment we were conducting on are things flammable? But what are the things around us that are flammable? So my friend, we were sitting on a bench in the last place, and he opened his whitener. He's like, bro, do you have a whitener? I'm like, why not? I'll just give it to him. He opens my whitener, he puts it on the bench, and the other guy who stands right next to me is like, I think it's flammable. Let's try. He opens his lighter and he puts the fire on. The moment this happens, people start shouting, people start crying here and there, and teacher walks in and seeing us putting out fire. Now tell me a fix to this. You're gonna run to the principal. You're gonna be rushed to the principal. Give me an explanation so you could get out of the fix.
I have to get out of the fix. Well, before I go to the theme, how many of you love the whitener smell? Like, patch. And then the same, even I used to do that. So as you said, there's a whitener which is spilled on the bench and someone lights it up. So me, on the other hand, who panics a lot on all the situation, I would have actually run to my class teacher rather than running to the principal. But what to do? The class teacher isn't there. So I had to run to the principal. And the principal, seeing me, she wouldn't trust me because I was the notorious kid that time when I was pulled to the teachers all the time because I used not attend classes because of my, I was only focusing on my sports and, some or the other shits I used to do. And sorry. Okay, I'm sorry for that. But I think I would just go and cry to the principal that, there's a fire on there. Fire on the bench and we want to help. And then the principal would be like, oh, who initiated this? So, and she would be judging me and be suspicious that I would initiate it, but I wanted to escape from that fix, right? So I didn't do that. I told that there was a group of friends who I just pinpointed one person and blamed on. So blame games we always play. So I also blamed another person. So again, she has a lot of suspicion. So I'm like, ma'am, please come with me to that bench and take me there. Just, solve this solution first. And then let us think about what is happening. So yeah, we go and throw water and do whatever possible. Of course, she wouldn't have called 911 there to fire the fire extinguisher. But yeah, that's what would be my story. And thank you.
Toastmaster, you said we start a blame game. There's a very old saying, snitches get stitches. That's what happens when you start the blame game in the end. So I think it'll be hard for you to survive boys' school. Coming to the last speaker, any hands? Right. Toastmaster Ganesh, please. Toastmaster Ganesh, pick a number. 5. 5, you say. Uh, okay, the dance. Well, Toastmaster, I wouldn't ask you, but yeah, I'm going to give you one. Do you remember something called the farewell? At the end, the juniors give you a farewell. You have a date, something like that. The Americans call it the ball. It's the most ballsiest thing to ask a girl out of the date. But boys' school, it's not something like that. So, do you remember something like that? Well, it's good day. You are on table topic stage, so you can imagine of having one. So let's imagine you get to pick any one favorite character for a date. Anyone, like literally anyone, from comics, stories, celebrity stars. You can have a celebrity date. You want to take to prom. Tell me that one person who you would take. But why her?
Well, it would be a very hard thing to reminisce or reminisce, I'd say, because as I earlier mentioned, I've had the very beautiful fortune of not having a single farewell throughout the schooling life. Not in 10th, because my school was beep, and then not in 12th, courtesy COVID, and then came here 3 days. They called something called freshers. Yay, let's go. 3 days later, I had midterms. I didn't do anything. So that's a big flop for me. Well, imagining a person, I've never had this Delulu is the only Solulu kind of situation. But then, if say a certain person, XYZ, anyone, X, let's say, well, yeah, I've had X's. So, major burn. So, I'd, probably ask her for a date in a very normal way. In usual situations like farewell, there's less of teachers getting involved. So after the farewell, after everyone's done whatever they do, that is dance, enjoy, have drinks. I mean, the normal soft drinks, of course, and the snacks and all, party enough. And there's a little gap in the end where people are supposed to go, they keep speaking, in the end they get sentimental. That's the point, that's the place you hit the shot, buddy. That is it. That is the exact time. You go, do the dare, go and ask her, yo, and you do whatever it is. See, it is personalized. I can't actually imagine something right now saying, X, will you be blah, 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 and let's go blah, blah, blah. That is going to be very bad right now. So let me not do that. So that would be a probable outcome of the scenario. So that's that. Over to the TTM.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ganesh. You're a true mechanical prodigy, I'll tell you that. I gave you the universe to pick a girl and you still picked an X. Kudos not to you. Kudos to you on that. So one more, a last question. Guys, any hands? Online audience? Any hands? All right, so the guest, Toastmaster Abhiram, please come on stage. Please, guys, a big hand. Come on for the guest. Pick a number. 1 to 5.
3. 2.
2, you say. Okay, so I'll give you a situation. Just imagine you're the only boy in an all-girls school for a day. Tell me, how will you survive that? You're the only boy in an all-girls school. How do you survive that? Give me a survival guide.
Okay, that was a bad topic in my opinion. But being an introvert that I am, I think I'll start off by treating them as boys itself. And I'll normal introduction and I don't know, but This is one thing, I don't mean to offend anyone. The fun you have with boys, it's not there with anyone else. So that is going to be missed for sure. And I can't think of anything much to say about this. Uh, that's it.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhiram. You just proved me right, saying that we can't survive a all girls high school. So that was my questionnaire for you today. You know, those were all the bad and, bad positions or situations I've been in. All those memories which, pull me down as a person. But the lesson that I've learned from them always pulls me up. But when I say this, that you guys won't survive it, I didn't mean that you won't survive you don't survive the week. You might survive the month, genuinely. Because fixes like this in boys' schools will tell you about how the world is. Like everyone has their own, situation. If you grow up with a girl, you grow up with a boy, you have this understanding of how a boy-girl matrix works. In a boys' school, it's very hard. It's very hard to comprehend what happens. So back to school, it teaches me about all the things that I haven't learned about. Like people tell that I learned so much in school. I think about all the things I've not learned, and coming here, I've learned a lot. So for that, it would be that would be me. And thank you, being a great section with you. Back to the TMOD.
That was a wonderful table topic session by Toastmaster Nikhil. Well, generalizing boys' school for everyone. I mean, that's a new take on schooling in itself. Talking about farewell, I noticed farewell. I think India is the only place where you can wear formals. You flick top to from your head to toe. You're like fully in formals. You have a suit. You have a tie. You have formal pants. You have formal shoes and everything. And then you'll be dancing like dogs. You'll be dancing like there's no tomorrow. And by like God forbid if it rains that day, that's it. The clothes have to go for dry cleaning not once, not twice, not thrice, but 5-6 times, and you end up spending more on dry cleaning than you spent on the entire attire itself. So that was farewell, and most of us don't remember our farewell. You shouldn't ask farewell questions because some of us didn't have farewell and some of us just don't remember because of what happened that day, or some of us don't want to remember. So Toastmaster Nikhil, something for you: don't ask personal questions. Don't ask questions which can hurt the audience. Well, to some of them, the questions were very grueling. I'll speak on your behalf. Don't worry, Toastmaster Brahma Ganesh. Since you guys had a very grueling session, you guys need time to recover. And I'll give you a 5-minute recovery break. Timer, please put that 5-minute recovery break on. And yeah, please, everyone, the break is on. All right, people, settle down, settle down. I think people who needed time to recover from that grueling session have recovered. And I can see people smiling, yes. And can I have a bit of... Yes. Now, where was I? Categories into which you can put your school life. Third category, your 9th and 10th. Now, for boys, you start getting bits of hair here and there. And you think, okay, you've grown up, you get that Adam's apple, and you do all that. And you have people from class 1 to 8 as your juniors, and you think, okay, you own them, which is true, you own them. You own these people. And this is the era I call where we are the princes and the princesses of the school. Like, we don't own it completely because there are people above us, but we know no one can, touch us, do anything, because the kings and queens, they travel in our bus. They've been with us for a long time and all of that. And now that is when ego develops. Not in a bad way, the competitive ego where, how did this guy get more than me? How did she get more than me? How did, he get a boyfriend? He get a girlfriend, or how did she get a boyfriend? I'm not sure. Boy school boyfriend, yeah. So yeah, that's the time I think where most of us experience changes for the first time. Because 9th and 10th people shift schools. Most of us shift schools because for some people, if I'm not wrong, the language or the choice of the language you need is not provided in the school. Though, so the first thing is change school. And then you change schools, you find new friends. Again, you start with the whole process. Hi, how are you? Can I sit next to you? Can I wait, can I borrow your pen? Can I borrow your notebook to complete all this? And that was when you realize maybe I don't need 5 notebooks for 5 different subjects. Maybe no. What I can probably do is that is afterwards. So that is when you, yeah, and that's when you, and most of us start preparing for competitive exams like NTSE, PRMO, and all of that. And you go to coaching centers, which I'm not going to name, no specific reason. But then you get into this habit of writing on the table. I don't know how many of you have that table of a habit of writing on the table. I remember scribbling on the table. So that's the era where you realize, okay, yeah, you become competitive, you get clarity of thought and all of that. And that's when, boom, board exams drop in. Like, hello, brother, I'm idhar, brother, idhar, the Akash Gupta one. Yeah, brother, idhar. But idhar as in like here. So brother, idhar is rhyming, but then in English it's, hey, brother, see here. So board exams come and then, yeah, you enter this different phase. Pre-boards, boards, practicals, and all of that. And then you realize, okay, marks actually matter, damn. So that's how it is. And talking about marks, the reason why we feel marks are very important is because we have these teachers who differentiate bias in the class because of the difference in the marks you have. And in the same way, we have a teacher here as well who will say, who will pinpoint, hey, you didn't do your homework, no, this, get out of the class. And maybe she won't ask you to get out of the room because you're a paid member, nevertheless. Toastmaster Sharanya is here for her evaluation report. And okay, she's not here yet. This is where you guys clap.
So the evaluations in every Toastmasters meeting is divided with our prepared speeches evaluation, then our tag team evaluation, then our overall meeting evaluation. So let's begin with the prepared speeches evaluation. I'd like to call upon our first speech evaluator, Toastmaster Harsha, to evaluate Toastmaster Pranav. Over to you, Toastmaster Harsha.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sharanya. All right, what's life if not a series of conflicts? Day in and day out, series of opinions and ideas, discussing about them is what gets work done. Now your speech, Toastmaster Pranav, altogether adds up to the same statement. Dread it, run from it. Conflicts will always arrive. Now that's exactly how you started off with your introduction, dramatizing about conflicts. That's something that definitely stood out for me. Now, when your introduction is catchy, dramatic, that's when audience are glued to you on the stage. That's a great job done, Toastmaster Pranav. But I'll lead to a different point right now, which made the dramatization of conflicts even more better. Your voice, as much as it's always on the high tone to make people more engaged, it modulates the right way when needed. That's something that made your dramatization a lot more better. Now, these 2 points have added up to the value of your speech, which made your speech about conflicts a lot more understandable and relatable to each and every one of us. Now, there was an inner conflict with the inner me. I wanted to make you feel good just by talking about good points. But in the argument, my Naveem won. And here I am giving you a few improvements that will make you a better speaker. Firstly, the topic is about conflicts. This is what exactly you mentioned at the beginning of your speech once your introduction is done. Now you've already laid your introduction. The base is set that you're going to talk about conflicts. Why mention about it again? That takes away the essence of a good speech. Try not to say that I'm Harsha. I'm going to talk about Pranav's evaluation today. Instead of saying that, directly jump into Pranav's evaluation. That's a trait of being a good speaker. Try to eliminate these kind of sentences. Now that leads me to a totally different point, the stage movement. As much as you're totally active on the stage, try to minimize your stage movement to meaningful stage movements. Jot it down to a few moments that are more sensible. When you're talking about A, B, C, and you're moving around, that totally made sense. But at a point in time, I felt like you are at the end of the stage 1 second and you are at the other end the next second. So try to minimize those stage movements and make them sensible stage movements. Now, the final question. What's meant by a prepared speech? A simple phrase, a speech that you prepare and deliver in front of the audience. Even your speech objectives say that Toastmaster Pranav, prepare a well-structured speech which talks about resolving your conflicts. We are not here to take conflicts from the audience or listen to their conflicts and solve them. You are talking about your own experience. Next time, when you send your evaluator the objectives, try going to them thoroughly so that you give the essence of the speech right. All in all, great description, great voice, and a few improvements talking about conflicts and removing the linear way of introducing and minimizing the stage movement and talking about your own speech objectives is something that will make the speech a lot more better. That's it from my end. Back to Toastmaster Sharanya.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Harsha. So my evaluation for Toastmaster Pranav would be quite a few of the points Toastmaster Harsha already explained, but let me tell that your title was really good. You started with conflicts, and hooked everyone's attention in the beginning. And you were also enacting by taking a person in the audience, which grabs everyone's attention and makes them connect with your speech a lot more. While that's kind of like a double-edged sword because your entire speech involved an impromptu touch while you were calling someone from the audience and giving them advice on their conflict solving of their conflicts. But in Toastmasters, we have the prepared speech segment, like Toastmaster Harsha said. It is for us to prepare a script and deliver on that. But obviously, I know that having impromptu parts makes your speech a lot more interesting. So you can have that as well as some parts that are you resolving your conflicts or a past instance of you having solved one of your conflicts. So that is something that you can take into consideration next time. Now my evaluation for Toastmaster Harsha. If you ever want an evaluation for your speech and if Toastmaster Harsha is there in the meeting, you have to go and ask him for an evaluation. That's how good it is. I liked how you mentioned a good point and then how you could elevate that good point into making it a little better. And you also incorporated Toastmaster Pranav's theme that was called conflict into how you gave your evaluation. That was also very well done. A few pointers that I could mention is let's not try to have terms like take away from the essence of your speech. That's a little towards the negative side, and telling like these pointers could be a little more sensible. It kind of made it sound like you were telling the Toastmasters Pranav's speech was a little not sensible. So if we could use a little more positive words in that sense and give a more few positives towards the end, so the person is encouraged to give his next speech. With that being said, now let me call upon our second speech evaluator, Toastmaster Arpita, to evaluate Toastmaster Sanidhya.
Toastmaster Sanidhya, 3,000 rupees. Well, if I had received so much of amount, of course, the favorite meme of all the time, which I can relate is "Itni khushi," it's all about happiness. And you did a great job in conveying that happiness towards your audience. So by just throwing your money out and just telling that, yeah, I'm rich at this point of time. So Toastmaster Sanidhya, your speech was humorous throughout, and also your voice modulation was on the point. And the things which you could improve on is you had an eye contact with people, but also you started looking at the ground. But that kind of shows your nervousness, and also you lose the audience attention. I think you could improve on that. And stage usage. Well, you use the stage properly, but I think you kind of you put a compulsion on yourself that, you have to use the stage completely. You could have done this way. So you talked about making plans, right? So it could be like this. Making plans is on other side, and going towards that plan is on another side. So, use it a bit in a more dramatic way so that, it doesn't seem that you're just walking around the stage. And yeah, overall, it was an amazing speech where you could connect with your humor and all the stuff. And yeah, with that being said, thank you. Over to the general evaluator.
To evaluate our second speaker, that is Toastmaster Sanidhya, although he snatched the book from me and saw most of his evaluation. So first of all, how you use the prop just in the beginning, just in the 5 seconds of your starting of the speech, it caught everyone's attention and made everyone happy to listen to your speech because they could relate to it. Then you describe food really well. And to talk about food, it's hard to describe food and make it seem tasty. And I think Toastmaster Sandhya did that very well. Using imagery and personifying something like food or anything in your speech is a very good touch to your speech. Next, you told a story and it made us feel like we were watching a video of your life, and that gave us an overall perspective as if like we were in your place. That was also very well done. A few pointers that I would like to give is that what already Toastmaster Arpita has mentioned, you tend to look down on the stage quite often. You do look down and then you look at the audience, but then you look down again. You could minimize that while you're thinking. Also, you could just look at the audience. Then I found the few beginning parts of your speech had a lot of exclamations such as very, 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 super, 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 oh my God, oh my God. So that was a little repetitive. You could cut down on the exclamations. That is a challenge that you could take. Now for Toastmaster Arpita. One thing that I think every single speaker today has to take up is that we all held the mic really low. And for some reason, today's mic isn't really working. It's not miking. So if you can hold it a little closer, we'll be able to hear all of you a little more well. You gave stage usage pointers, which is very well done, and how to use the stage. Then you also told about how you could relate in the first line of your evaluation. That was also very well done. Now, I would like to call upon our last evaluator, Toastmaster Jaswita, to evaluate Toastmaster Shivansh. Over to you, Toastmaster Jaswita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sharanya. Good evening once again, everyone, and I'm here to evaluate Toastmaster Shivansh's L3P1 speech. Come on, let's do it. Such a ring to it. The energy that his speech title has carried along. When he started with his introduction, he took us all back into the time which was almost 2 years ago, but it just feels like it was yesterday. I could feel the nostalgia growing around me. And his introduction was a well-written story, the bunch of diaries, the instances that happened in the very own ATM road. And the purpose of his speech is to give a proposal. I was very interested to see how his story was going to be woven into a proposal. But after a certain amount of time, I just found myself into a trap of a confusing state. Until the end of the story, I couldn't actually understand that this was a proposal of a photo rather than other things. And Toastmaster Shivansh, while your tone of speaking is very intriguing and you have the power of grabbing your audience attention, I would suggest you to follow a structure to your speech and give the enough importance for the transitions that you follow along in your speeches. When you start with a story, I would like for you to work on the transitions to inculcate this story in your proposal so that this story will act as a firm ground for you to develop your proposal into something better for the audience to all relate upon. And I'm pretty sure that you can write that story in such a manner that you can develop your proposal the same effective way that you have wrote your initiating story as well. And a few suggestions that I would give you is that to be sure about the facts that you're presenting and not to demean any other club in the college, that certain other literary club. If you have to denote any other club in the college, please denote it in a positive way. And also, whenever you're giving a proposal, rather than to hold the mystery until the end of the proposal, it's better to tell what this proposal is about so that the viewers can hear it properly, because a proposal is always the end goal is to achieve it so that they will be more inclined to why this proposal is going to benefit them a lot. So these are going to be each again, and just for you to improve again. You're already a very good speaker. Thank you. Back to the G.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jasta, and thank you so much, Toastmaster Harsha. We saw your message in the chat. Now, my evaluation for Toastmaster Shivansh is that you talked about a memory that you have, and then you talked about your proposal so that you could match the feeling that you got during that one memory. That was very well done, because we now have a reason to do something, and that is why we will do it. And I'm totally convinced about your proposal, and hopefully we can take a picture together. Some few pointers that I have is that when you're transitioning between one scene to another, instead of using terms like and, then, or so, if you have a proper transition, that's like a written script, that would be really good. And then if you could have increased the content of your speech a little more rather than just the memory and the proposal, maybe add something more to it. That's a challenge that you can take for next time. Then my evaluation for Toastmaster Jasita is Toastmaster Jasita, whenever she gives an evaluation, there's this like essence and like magic into her evaluation that brings people into the mood. And then she's always very encouraging with the remarks that she gives. And she made the speaker believe that, yes, I believe in you, that you can do a lot better. With that being said, she also gave remarks such as not to mention other college clubs and take it in a positive way. So that being said, now we can move on to our second phase of evaluation, that is the tag team evaluation. And I'd like to call upon Toastmaster Smriti to give the grammarians evaluation. Over to you.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. There were 3 usages of the word of the day, which is good, by Toastmaster Ganesh, Toastmaster Pranav, and Toastmaster Shivansh. So kudos to you guys. However, nobody used the idiom of the day, which could have been used as Pranav was saying, but okay. And moving on to the good usages, there were some idioms that were used, such as thorn in your back, cherry on top, hardest of kinds by Toastmaster Pranav. There was absent-minded creatures by Toastmaster Sanidhya. And there was the term concierge and snitches get stitches by Toastmaster Nikhil. And these were the only good uses. There are very few improvements, just minor grammatical errors. Money expenditure can just be said as expenditure. Long while coming is long time coming. Come for one photo is come together for one photo. And even more better, little more well are just even better and little better. So these are just some basic grammatical errors that we can all work upon. And hopefully next time everybody uses the word of the day and the idiom of the day. That is my evaluation as grammarian. Back to you, Toastmaster Sharanya.
That was a very well done evaluation with encouraging us to use the word of the day and the idiom of the day, which a lot of people use this time. So now next up, we have the R counter, Toastmaster Mansi, to give her evaluation. Over to you.
Firstly, I'd like to congratulate all the speakers of the day. You've done a phenomenal job. I barely have anything to say, to be honest. But, anyways, here's my report for the day. Sanadhya, your favorite words were and thus, and of course, you've used it a couple of times throughout your speeches. And Shivansh, your favorite words were I'm not sure and chaotic. You've kind of used it a couple of times. And Arpita, you've had your ums here and there. Maybe that's something you could work upon. And Pranav, you've had a pauses here and there. Maybe that's a part of your speech. I couldn't really make a difference in that. And the most importantly, in the table topic session, Arpita, you've used a word which we refrain from using in our Toastmasters meetings. Maybe it's a note for all of us to work upon that and maybe minimalize or not use at all the words we are not supposed to use. That's it from my side. And a little tip for all of us here to make our speeches better is practice, practice, practice. And I think that's the only way we can make our speeches better. Back to the general evaluator.
Personally, I really like it when the R counter goes and says your favorite word was, rather than going with, oh, you use these fillers a lot many times. It's a much more positive take on the evaluation. Next up, we have our timer, Toastmaster Shell. Over to you.
Good evening again. So let's reminisce all the speeches by going through the time. Thankfully, nobody succeeded the time, so thanks to my hand. And only Arpita was below the timeline. Rest, everyone was perfect. Toastmasters Pranav and Toastmasters Harsha was just on the border. So I'll just encourage you to look into that. Thank you.
That was a really adorable. Am I allowed to say this? That was a really adorable evaluation from our first timer, Toastmaster Share, and you did a really good job. Now, let me go ahead and talk about our table topic speakers. First, our table topic speaker is Toastmaster Nikhil. Our table topic was Toastmaster Nikhil, and I just have one thing to say. Your topics is really well set, and that's not something we would think about a take on back to school from your experience. You asked us a few questions. I was very well thought. One thing that you could take into consideration is speak a little slower so that we can catch the words that you're saying, because sometimes it's hard for the people at the back to understand what words you're trying to pronounce. If you can speak a little slowly, that'll be better. Then our first speaker was Toastmaster Pranav. Toastmaster Pranav, you enacted the scene and with full tension that was there, that could have happened at that moment. However, two things. If you could decrease your pitch of speaking a little bit, that would be good. And one thing that we all kind of noticed is that 60 to 70% of your table topic was in Hindi. And we in Toastmasters International, I know you didn't catch that, but in Toastmasters International, we speak in English. So if you tend to talk in Hindi, then you have to translate what you were saying. Then we had Toastmaster Arpita. You could actually try to, and you talked about how the story would go on when you would meet the principal. However, like what Toastmaster Pranav did, you can try to enact the scene rather than tell it like a story. That is a challenge for next time. Toastmaster Ganesh, again, if possible, if you could make up a scenario if you have never been in a particular one, and add a few parts of your experience and a few made up parts, because it's a table topic session. We can let our imaginations go wild. So now next we have our guest Abhiram. You didn't seem hesitant when all of us pushed you onto the stage, and you did give your take. That was very well done. One thing you mentioned was that the fun you have with boys, you cannot have with anyone else. I disagree. I think we girls can have fun as well. Right? No, shut up. Okay. Then that is with our evaluation for the table topic session. Then we have our presiding officer, Toastmaster Nikhilesh, who explained from every single office what were the announcements. That was very well done. Then we have our TMOD session by him as well. So several questions you asked in the beginning, and I think that is something ever if all of us take to become the Toastmaster of the day. Let's all ask questions because that engages the audience the most. And every possible memory from every stage of school was covered by Toastmaster Nikhilesh. I think I relived 12 years of my life in 2 hours, which was very well done. That being said, I think we started the meeting almost a little bit on time, but we had a few technical difficulties. We still managed. That was very well done. If I have to evaluate myself, or let me do this honestly, because otherwise I'm going to hear an evaluation later. I forgot that I was supposed to write down things as a general evaluator until Toastmaster Sanidhya reminded me. And I also forgot the form, which Toastmaster Sanidhya again had to do for me. So that is something I'll keep in mind next time. That being said, back to the TMOD.
It was a very well an evaluation, general evaluator's report, if I may. Not very serious, not very jovial, but apt for the audience in the house. Now, as TMOD, the meeting is about to get over. So let's get to the last part of our school life, where we become the kings and queens of school. We own the school, we practically own the school. And that's when we experience a lot of things because, well, 11th and 12th, unfortunately for a lot of us, 11th and 12th was online due to COVID, owing to COVID. But nevertheless, I had the opportunity to go to school. Like in my 11th, towards the end of the last 3 months, I was able to attend school. So I had the fortune to plan a annual day and a farewell for my seniors. And I'll tell you, planning a farewell is as good as receiving one, or even better than that, because here you just get to bunk a lot of classes. Any teacher catches you, you're like, "Ma'am, farewell. Sir, farewell. Ma'am, annual day. So the annual day practice, sir. So this, so that." And teachers don't ask you questions because here you're responsible for like the annual day preparation of the whole school. And they're like, "Okay, fine. You know what? You might be busy running here and there, so I'll let you go. But please, attend classes, this, that." And this is where you start. This is the age where you start questioning. You start questioning your teachers. You go to FITZI, you go to Akash, you go to all these coaching institutions. You learn new methods, learn new stuff, and like, "Ma'am, I have a doubt in this method, in this so and so question." And you pull up that question from JEE Maths, and then, "Sir, this question, how do I solve this?" You know the teacher is not going to solve it. You know the teacher won't be able to solve it, but still, nevertheless, to feed your ego, to belittle the teacher, you do all that. But then, yeah, once you come to college, you realize maybe I shouldn't have done that because of, I don't know, is it karma or whatever it is? I'm not able to solve questions anymore. I don't know what is wrong. Why am I not getting the correct answer to even a simple question? That was most of 11th. 11th was you taking in that, "Oh yes, I'm the boss now. I own this place." And 12th is when you realize, over, done. And now you're receiving the farewell. All the shenanigans and all that you did as an 11th grader when you were planning the farewell and everything, you just go through all of them. You reminisce school life. It goes through like a flash. You remember all the stories you have, all the times you've been detained by the faculty, by the teachers, all the times your parents have slapped you in front of the teacher in parents-teacher meetings. If you've been, I'm not something everyone would have experienced. All the times you've bunked, all the times you've planned a movie and get out of school, all the times you've broken furnitures, equipments in lab, and all of that. The fire extinguisher, for us it was mostly bending the fan blades and then break. Okay, no. So all these moments just go like this in a flash, and then, ironically speaking, you cry. Like, the first day you enter schoolhood, the first day you enter that big archway, you cry. But then, the last time you walk out of that place, you cry. You say goodbye to a lot of things, like including the old cranky gates, which make that very rusty sound every time you push them or pull them. That sound, whatever. I'm not able to replicate that sound, but you miss that too. You miss the school bus, you miss the route, you miss the ice cream, or you miss the shop vendor you see every day when you go back home from school. So there are a lot of things, and well, I think we are running out of time, definitely. So yeah, towards the end, I would like to leave you all with this one thing. People often say you cannot judge a book by its cover. And what do they mean by that? You cannot judge a person by their behavior, or the clothes they're wearing, or whatever it is, the way they speak or whatever. But I'll tell you what, coming to notebooks and people, especially in school, and I think still it continues in college, the fact that you can't judge a person or a book from the cover is not a complete statement. Let me tell the complete statement. From the front cover, you can definitely not judge a person or a book, because if you turn back, you go to the last page, the cover there you can truly understand and see what that person. You can definitely, not judge is maybe not the right word, but you can definitely understand them. In the front pages, in the main pages of the notebook, you'll find you yourself writing, if you've studied Hindi, इस पंक्ति में कवि यह कहना चाहते हैं. You say, okay, this is what the poet wants to explain in so and so words, but then in the back page you have your own slam poetry going on. You have your feelings written down in the last page. You played Flames, you played bingo, you played what is that, tic tac toe, all these games. So I think when they say you cannot judge a person or a book by the cover, yes, you cannot completely do that, but if you turn towards the last page, you can definitely learn a lot about the person and not about the book, and they definitely will have walked in the shoes some way or the other. So that's today's session. Back to the presiding officer. All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Nikhilesh. That was a wonderful theme. I mean, you brought back memories from schoolhood. Thank you so much. All right. I'll take that. It's all right. But yeah. So yeah, meeting over more or less. Is the voting form ready? Sent. So please, people, please go ahead and vote. And as far as announcements go, newsletter. Have I covered newsletter yet? All right. So newsletter from the VPPR office. So newsletter is something we release every term, and the deadline is coming close. And VPPR, she has already started working on it. People are interested on working. People interested in working on the newsletter can definitely approach Toastmaster Sharanya. She'll let you in, and people, please do share in your articles or whatever creative thing you've done, like poetry or articles or drawings or any form of art is open there. So please do that. And yeah, so that's today's meeting. And how many votes do we have? 2 more. I'm not voting. All right. So before we get on towards the announcements, towards the stricter part of the address, let me just call a guest and get the feedback on how the meeting was.
Thank you, Nikhilesh. So this was my first meeting of Toastmasters Amrita Bangalore, and I don't know, I can't compliment enough. Great set of speakers. I would like to see myself like one of you. So I'll definitely look forward to joining and maybe hopefully get rid of the negligence and fright. So thank you.
All right, this is where we just stop the recording and go on with the actual announcements. Where do I stop the recording from?